Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Avi.
Futures are slightly up now. Wild ride for anybody who's been watching the futures overnight. Futures were as high as 1098, which was up about 9+ handles, and negative, negative 2 or 3 at one point. So they've been all over the place. Market's trying to decide where they want to go. Right now they're up 1. They're ranging in this up 1 to up 3 range right now, or flat to up 3 range right now. Market doesn't know what it wants to do. Can't actually digest the news. Dubai came out and they gave a fairly crappy, backstop to what's going on, saying that they'll look on a selective basis to backstop certain companies. They came out just now and they said any bank that's not a Dubai-based, or probably that means an Arab-based bank, they will not support, which means HSBC, which means some of the Japanese banks that have big exposure, they'll all get hammered. They'll let them take the fall, which is interesting. They're not trading down on it, but it's interesting. Now, what does all this kind of mean? What's really happening? What's really happening is they're trying to make a big deal about the fact that Dubai is such a small percentage of the overall markets and economies and everything else like that. But the reality is it's much more than that, right? It's more about not only the sentiment, it's more about the fact that this is yet another vestige of overexertion of the economy that people were pointing to and saying, look, Dubai is still strong, right? But when you find out that the entire market is built on, $1,500 a foot real estate, that you're selling for that might be worth $100 a foot, that's when you get the real problems. And that's what's going on. So, whether or not this is a larger, issue for the overall economy, the market's waiting to see. So the market today is probably going to take the move up, initially take a little leg up, and start to see if there's selling pressure coming in. They want to see if the market's getting scared. They're going to try to use some initial positive data on retail. Right? Here, just now, National Retail Federation said there was more shopping but less spending. And one group came out and said that there's a half of a percentage point more than last year. And my personal feelings are that you're going to get a spike initially versus last year because people are afraid. They're hearing that the retailers are not offering big specials. They're afraid that prices are not going to go down later as you get closer to Christmas, that they're going to go up. So people are buying now. So what they do is they extend forecasting through the entire month, the back days of the month, where forecasting is expected to be equal to the first days of the month. It's going to be very light. Same thing happened a few years back. They're going to be very light at that point, and they're going to all miss forecasts at the end of the month. So I expect retail numbers to be weak. I just don't expect them to be weak necessarily this week. So when you're seeing all these types of things happen, recognize that that's what the market's probably going to do. It's going to, slowly move up, and then try to determine if there's selling pressure. If there's selling pressure, they're going to smack this market. My personal belief is there are forces trying to keep this market up, but there's an unease. Dubai is an unease in the market. More than there's a huge negative effect on any American companies, it's a big, discomfort. And with discomfort usually comes some form of sell-off. Now the market has room to bounce. It was down a lot, right? So maybe they'll try to keep it up. They'll try to defend it. You've got to wonder whether or not the bulls have the strength in them right now, where people are getting ready to kind of capitulate, to kind of take profits, to give up, to sell their stocks to be able to buy Christmas. We'll see what happens.